Hey folks, in this video I'll be talking about character design and development. We went over body parts, but there is a whole list of possibilities of body parts for you to use, like a missing eye, or arm, extra arms, or a third eye, a character who is a bit on the plus size, or a character who is very skinny. These examples that I said are character design, but I will be going into more detail into textiles, garments, apparel, armor, etc. These things are slightly overlooked when it comes to design and foreshortening, but is a process you must apply to your art in order to push those boundaries. And as an added bonus, I'll go over style. Now to begin, I'm not very good with wrinkles. That's why I want to get better at them. I want to go to art school. I've been watching and reading things about wrinkles, and in all honesty, wrinkles are tough, but they're very simple. Like, it's it's easy to mess up in a way. But if you get it just right, it'll make your art look so much better. Now with textiles, um, they all of them have wrinkles when pushed in a certain way, except for like hard stuff like armor and metal. Those don't have much wrinkles unless they're flexible or pliable. Now with um, clothes and garments and stuff, the wrinkles themselves give depth, and I'm going to point out certain places where you usually find wrinkles. Armor, I'll go over armor at another point in this video, but with wrinkles, I drew right here the box foundation that I use. Usually you'll find um a lot of wrinkles in high stress areas like your armpits, um, uh, behind your elbow, sometimes your neck if you're wearing a turtleneck or something, and then your belly and the sides because your body twists and moves from just from your everyday activities. So right here, I drew that sag right there on the arm because when you lift your arms up, the clothes kind of sag a little, and I drew a lot of lines um, between the arm and between the arms because that's the high stress area. It's wrinkled. It looks a bit cluttered, which is a very rookie mistake. Now, in my previous videos, I called myself an intermediate artist, but I've used um, some sophisticated terms, like sophisticated. I only call myself an intermediate artist because that's how I feel. That's my opinion about myself. I'm not as great as I want to be, but don't hold yourself to high standards or else your art won't get anywhere. That's what I learned from watching all these videos and things um like an art curve where the art you draw isn't what you expected to isn't the result that you expect it to be. Now, it's okay to mess up. I always mess up. Like with this tutorial, I messed up a bit. I actually did a decent job of drawing this foreshortened arm. Plus the wrinkles. It's very difficult in my mind, but as you can see, I drew different methods just to show you um, what's what to look like and what to expand on. Like drawing wrinkles while the arm is foreshortened is the main point of this video because this is something that you're going to have to overcome in your art career, and if you want to continue to draw people, then this is very crucial unless you like drawing naked people, I guess. Now, there are some parts of the female body that like the breasts where it doesn't show like that cleavage line that some people mistake by drawing like a fold. It doesn't fold. It's just flat across it. You don't see the cleavage line unless um, the clothes have cleavage, but female clothes that show cleavage is um, depends on what you're drawing really. Now, I didn't get to the belt earlier because I had forgotten about it, but this belt right here, as you can see, um, the clip, I forgot what that belt part is called, but you know, it's more facing like your right side. It's facing towards the right side, so you'll draw the the left left part smaller. When you're, oh, I mixed it up. Sorry. The back part. I'll just say the back part is smaller, and then the one in front is bigger to show like um not for shortening, but like spacing distance. Now with side wrinkles, it's a bit difficult. I'm still exploring that. I usually just draw front wrinkles or back wrinkles depending on the positions I draw. Now I'm going to start drawing in red particular areas that are heavy in wrinkles. Now here we have the under armpit with the short sleeve and then the long bending sleeve. Usually the shirt drags out from in front of you when usually usually it's sitting down when it drags out in front of you, but sometimes when standing up it'll show. I just drew that just for an example. Now I pointed out the cleavage line like earlier with the red X to not show it. I erased the pencil line just to see better, but yeah, right here with the foreshortening, you'll be seeing a lot of wrinkles, unless it's shown in a way that is unseeable, so you only see it like maybe like two wrinkles. Now this is the Infinity Gauntlet, like I'll be writing the words Infinity Gauntlet in a second here, but like with armor and shapes, they are they're very they're very compatible, just like with the body foundations that I've been teaching you in the past several videos. If you've watched them, um, you can use like shapes to describe armor because the armor is like another piece of the body. It's not flexible as well. I mean, some armor is flexible, but you get my meaning with like the glove at least. Um, the shape of the glove, like starting at the bottom, would be a cone, and then the fist up to the fingers would be like rectangles and a square, and then the thumb is its own unique um like what is it? I don't know what the shape is called, but yeah, it's just like a pentagon, but it's rounded at the top. Now, when drawing armor, for your characters, you're not just gonna draw it one time. I would recommend drawing it lots of times because the more you get used to drawing the same character over and over again, the better you're gonna be at taking shortcuts that will be easy to remember. That's how I've learned, and that's how I've taught myself and have been taught online. Now, the transition from the first one, like the one seen in the movie cover, to the second one is not that difficult, and in a way because all you're doing is hiding some of the my bad, some of the armor parts into a showing into a less sophisticated one, because the first one it's sophisticated. I've drawn it before. It's very sophisticated. Well, the second one is less sophisticated because I'm drawing the fingers, the thumb, and then the stones, and then the rounded out piece at the end, the cone piece that I mentioned a bit earlier. The showing that it still resembles the Infinity Gauntlet. Now, the etched details you see in the front are aren't going to show up as much because they're facing towards you. Now they're going to be smaller and less visible. And sometimes when you foreshorten something like this gauntlet here, you don't have to draw everything. That just complicates it and makes it less three-dimensional. Now here I point out the cone shape, and then the square shape. It transforms into a rectangle because of the view that it has taken upon with this new angle. Now angles are very key here, as you'll be looking in the mirror a lot to figure out how and what goes where, and what's hiding and what's not hiding, and it's just like the foreshortening body parts like I've shown you, except armor is a bit different because it's not organic. Um, it's very it's very complicated when you apply it to your own field of mind because when you're drawing body parts, you know body parts inside and out. With armor, you I don't know how many of you have armor. I don't have any armor, so it's hard to come up with something that I haven't seen unless I'm using a reference, which I am here. I use a slight reference for the first one. I just figured out the second one by myself because I couldn't find any. Now, once you get skilled like that, you'll be able to redraw and reimagine things in your own view. I used to copy a lot, and it's not a bad thing to copy. It's just don't sell it for your own uses. In most cases, or else you get copyright infringement. But I like taking other people's characters and redrawing them in my own imagination. I've been doing that a lot recently because it's a challenge. I love a challenge, especially when it comes to art. It's very useful when creating your own characters and design, which is unique to you. Now, I'm finishing up here, but you can see the etching is less visible because there's less to see, honestly. And then there's that little palm right there. Now, style is a hard topic to overcome, but would be the defining part of your art. What I recommend is to look at your favorite artists, pick out two or three artists in the same field, cartoon, paint, animation, etc. Or not, I suppose, just to like look closely at what they're drawing. Maybe you'll choose painting and then animation piece and look at how their humans are formed. Maybe it's ultra realism or simplicity, like no muscles, not too complicated. Like some artists can be defined by their noses, or maybe some artists can be defined by their chins, like adult and PG-13 cartoons like Bob's Burger, Futurama, Simpsons. Those are made by like some of the same creators. Things like that. I look up to Jim Lee. Totally recommend Jim Lee for shading tips. But now to begin, these two Robins, I think they're made by the same producers. I know it's just by Warner Bros. To Cartoon Network, but these two Robins are extremely different. Are an extremely different style. Now you can watch videos of like drawing the same character in 50 different styles and things like that. If you're an anime fan, you've probably seen some of those, but you know the different style is very key here to deter between the two characters. Of course, they're small. One is smaller than the other, but that's not the point here. Like, yes, it contributes to the character, but it's still the color, the theme, and things like that. It's still different. Now with Rick and Morty, their style, not comparing to anyone else's because there's not very much to compare them to. Their style is very geometric, like the geometric head. Morty's head is a literal circle. That's how easy it is. Same with Mickey Mouse. Same with Charlie Brown, like I drew earlier in the video. It's just symmetrical. Not too much. Not too many. What's what's the word? Wrinkles, and just very simplistic art. That's what's made it famous. Now here is what I was talking about. With Family Guy, Family Guy is very unique. With the like short legs, no ankle thing going on. Their characters. I don't know how to describe their characters. They're very um like thick. The characters are thick. Like with the Futurama, the lack of chin, able is like makes you capable of determining that it's from the same creators as Simpson. Things like that. Um, it's very stylish. And the character Bender is its own style unto itself. That's how you determine that it's the different show than Simpsons because it's from Futurama, and then Simpsons are yellow, so that's the Simpsons. With this is Voltron. Voltron is a very old show that got a reboot on Netflix. But you can see here there's different chin styles that they use that's specific to them. They don't go for like ultra realism or anything like that. They go for simple animation style. Um, there's the geometric circle for a helmet, lacking the mouthpiece, which I'll be bringing up later. Now with the new one now, the new one is art looks great. Love how DreamWorks did it. It's more of a tear shape, upside down tear shape. There's more colors, like skin tone, and there's the mouthpiece that wasn't used in the last series. Now, like with the color themes, very bright, very colorful, very useful, and spectacular art.